Joe Central, episode 24.
Up,
Hit him with that
we
thing,
back at it
Elgin.
again with the Joe Central. We got my boy Ryan Nelson here. We got my boy Jacob. And we about to get to it, man. We about to bring it to y'all with the fucking smoke. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Ryan.
Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Ryan Nelson. I'm from Knoxville, Tennessee. Currently live in Milford, Connecticut. We play some adult baseball with Elgin. So, you know, I'm here. I'm glad to be here. I appreciate you having me on tonight. Hopefully, to enjoy some conversation with you guys.
I appreciate you coming, Ryan. You in Tennessee right now, or you in Connecticut right now?
So I'm in Milford. I just got back from Tennessee not too long ago. Got to spend some time with my mama. I love that. My mama, she's a woman.
You ain't gotta lie.
So she and I, we think a little bit differently, but at the end of the day, I love it.
You think logically and she don't. That's what you mean?
Exactly.
I got always up for the sub boys. So I got the opportunity to spend some time with her, working remote. And so I took that chance and I went home for a little bit and got to spend some time with her.
Real shit, bro.
Wow.
That's good, bro.
Your life is amazing, Ryan.
The family, bro. And yeah, bro, I just want to thank you and thank y'all team for, taking me under y'all wing whenever I was out there in Connecticut, bro. That was real family shit, bro. To the death type shit, always gonna be family, baby. And I'm glad to have you on.
Oh, hell yeah, baby. You know we're still trying to get you back up there.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna make a
that's
trip.
how you know.
I'm gonna make a trip. Hell yeah. I'm thinking 2022 type shit. Whenever all this shit settle down, come out there. So,
I'm gonna hold you to that.
These years sound stupid.
But let's get into it, bro. So let's go ahead and knock out the big one first. You already know what happened this Wednesday. Joe Biden got inaugurated and shit. So he started signing his executive orders and yeah.
Are we gonna skip over the fashion show at the inauguration?
Yeah, bro, that shit was lit. I mean, they was stepping.
I thought I was watching the Met Gala for a second, and
I was
then
like, bro, this fucking politics shit is getting more and more fucking like mainstream, just like pop culture is like the further we get, bro. It's less formal and all. It's like such bullshit.
I mean, if you think about it, pop culture has very much subsided this past year. Like, we don't even talk about, like, what about the 2020 actual Met Gala? Did that happen? I guess we got to fit everything into one thing while the cameras are on, because we're not recording nobody else. I didn't get my Euphoria season this fucking year either, so...
Did y'all watch the inauguration? Like, y'all watched the whole shit?
I watched some of it. I saw, like, Obama.
Why you looking like that, bro?
It was a little boring, dude. It just, like, it had Bush and then Bernie and, what's your boy?
You know what I've seen more? I haven't even seen the inauguration online. What I've seen is more memes of Bernie than anything.
Real shit.
That's how uneventful it was. I think a lot of it has to do with, like, people didn't care. They knew who was going to win. It's been dragged on for a month now. And at the end of the day, everyone knew what was going down.
It wasn't a celebration.
We're here. We're people, right? We're here to work. At the end of the day, like, whoever gets inaugurated into office doesn't change how I'm going to reflect myself as a human.
Exactly.
So I'm still going to show up to work. I'm going to work my ass off, and I'm going to keep doing what I do because that's just how I am. You know me, Elgin. That's how it is. We show up, we work our ass off, and we go about our day. No matter who's in office,
We don't give a
no matter who reflects our country in general, because that doesn't reflect me. At the end of the day, I'm gonna do my shit and I'm gonna fucking do the best at everything I can, regardless if it has anything to do with work, my family, my friends, anything. That's just how I am. I love my family.
110 no matter what.
That's how it is. And that's how I approach everything in life. It has nothing to do with the person that reflects us as a country. It's all about who reflects me as family, friends, and that's how I'm gonna go about my life. That's it.
Hey, bro. Hey, I wish more people thought like you. But right now, everybody trying to attach themselves to a president or a fucking party, and they trying to identify as something. But bro, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, we are who the fuck we are. You feel me? And that's as deep as it get, man. It don't matter who the fucking office, man. That shit is so far from us.
I think that's what the general public kind of realized this year. The general public, it wasn't a very like popular celebratory inauguration because I think like the whole country is about done with the like we done talked about politics more in the past 5 months than we have in the 10 years prior to it, and I think a lot of the people, most people that would have been, just excited because it's like, oh, a new president, it used to be this big, like, non-controversial thing and everybody was just excited. It wasn't a big deal. This year, I think everybody has, like, talked about it, went over it. They're divided on it, and everybody's just ready for the guy to get in the office and do the damn job.
Right.
Just do the job, and so let's stop cheering or getting mad, whatever side you want.
I feel like November was the time. November, December was the time for all that bullshit. Now it's time to actually get to work.
Yeah, I think people are just exhausted at this point.
Yeah,
They're just like, man, go ahead and.
There's only so much drama people can take.
Yeah.
Leaders, bro.
They were like, man, go ahead and sign that shit. Go ahead,
But
sign.
like, let's get into some of these executive orders, bro. What was like some of the first things he signed? I know he signed a plan to, I guess, get a path to citizenship for 11 million immigrants or something like that. It was something to that effect. It's like an 8-year guide or steps on how they can become legal citizens now and get, their rights to vote and, get their fair share of housing and stuff like that and start getting their stimulus packages and shit. So I guess he trying to help people out, but I don't know. But then he also signed some bullshit.
Yeah, let's talk about the shit we don't like.
What's that bullshit he signed, Ryan? Some shit. Talk about something.
Here's the thing: if you're gonna sign an order that where I myself have a full beard, all right, I'm a fucking man, all right. I identify as a man. You can't put it any other way. I have a grown fucking beard. I'm a fucking man. That's how it is. If you're gonna show up one day and say, hey, me as myself, and say, you know what, I identify as a woman, and show up on a softball field and beat the shit out of a bunch of softball girls in a softball game, that's wrong. Yeah. That's flat out wrong. I'm not a woman. I have a dick. I'm sorry. I don't know if that's appropriate to say on your podcast.
Yeah, you good, bro.
Misogynistic.
It's the misogyny for me.
I tell you what, my mama, my daddy, and my mama, who's like I said, she thinks different from me. But at the end of the day, if I would say I identify as a woman, she'd sit there like, hell fucking no, you don't identify as a fucking woman. Like,
right.
And she's
taking this shit too far, bro.
I wouldn't even say progressive. Like, she's not more progressive than me. She cares about human life more than I do, but I still care about human life, right?
Exactly.
But there's a boundary there, right? And they're starting to stretch that boundary. So as a man, like, let me put things in perspective. And this is something my father told me a long time ago. If you're a man, right, and you have a daughter, and there's a man that says, I identify as a woman, and they go into a woman's restaurant, right? You have a daughter that's going into that same restaurant. How are you going to feel about that?
I'm not going to feel very comfortable with that.
It's fucked up. Like, there are a lot of creepos out there, right? And they do this strictly so that they can, whatever gets them off, do that same shit. They do. And I don't care if you're not one of them, but you're still you're able to create that open atmosphere for those people that are fucked in the head, right?
Right.
So that's where it becomes uncomfortable for me. If I would ever have a daughter and some man walked into a restroom that was a woman's restroom and said, I identify as a woman, shit, I'd walk straight in there. I'd beat the shit out of him.
Oh, God.
That's how it is. Mm-hmm. My daughter, she's gonna feel uncomfortable no matter where she walks. That's just how I think. That's how I am.
That should be your right, bro. If you want to identify as a woman, well, then I should be able to identify with my daughter and make sure she fucking safe. How about that?
Hey, hey, you want to play stupid games? You want to get stupid prizes? You will get it from the wrong man. I'll tell you what.
Real shit.
I'm not.
They're gonna be consequences.
Yeah, like I'm not a dangerous human when it's it's you and me. Like we're
Right.
boys.
But yeah, if y'all don't know what we
What I
talking
care
about,
about and I trust.
Joe Biden signed an executive order stating that if you identify as a woman, even if you are a man, you have the right to compete as a woman and identify yourself as such and get those accesses depending on how you identify. It's really an LGBTQ community executive order. So yeah, that's where we at with that. So I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know.
So so there's a spectrum of transgender people. There's people who, like you said, like you gave me the extreme case of the guy who just at the age of 35 decides, yo, I'm gonna start putting on a dress and growing my hair out, and I wanna go fight with the girls, and I wanna go in the girls' bathroom. That's one situation, but then also you could have somebody who's started like hormone therapy at the age of 11. I wouldn't agree with doing that with my child, for example, but some people do that and they grow up and they what if they get they dingling cut off and they do all of the estrogen hormonal therapies to get them looking like a girl, sounding like a girl, talking like a girl, like that new what's her name that plays on a Euphoria show. I know I keep talking about that show, but she's this transgender girl who started out as a boy when she was young and all of that. So and if you passed her up on the street, you see slim shoulders, you see built like a girl, looks like a girl, from like to the point where like a lot of people think she's actually a very beautiful girl. Um and you can hardly tell. So what about that? What about that, Ryan?
I mean, that's a tough situation, right?
Right?
I mean, we're all. If I can look, let me put things in perspective. If I can recognize that it's a man, then I'm going to still apply the same situation. And my daughter's going to a restroom. I'm still going to feel uncomfortable. It is what it is. You know,
Yeah.
there are so many bad situations that have created all this madness, right, in this world. So I'm not going to think the positive in this situation. I'm always going to assume the negative. And that's mainly just to
Better safe than sorry. You're a protector. You're a man. That's just how we think.
my family means everything to me, right? And that's not just blood that runs deep. Elgin knows that. With me, it's not just who gave birth to me. It's more than that. It's the people I play with. It's the people that have bled and sweated with me day after day, and it's just how I was raised. My family is everything, and I'll do whatever it takes to protect them in any way, shape, or form. It's just
Yeah.
how I was born, how I was raised.
Mhm.
I don't regret any way how I think.
Exactly.
You
It
know,
don't matter what
I love my
it don't matter what laws in place or
Yeah,
who
and
who was the leader.
my family is my
Yeah,
family.
your morals and your values are not going to change no matter what the laws are. No
yeah,
matter what the fuck they say.
and that's sort of the thing where I think politicians need to like step foot into the real world every once in a while and realize that you can pass all these laws and you can do these things and they look good on paper and it's like, oh, you're very progressive, you're doing the right thing for the marginalized people. We know that and we get that, and we accept that to a certain extent though, because when it comes time to, like, let's say for example you go into a wrestling match and there's and you're a girl and this dude, this transgender woman.
They're running into someone like me in a wrestling match. Like,
Yeah, it's not fair. And if we're gonna, like, let's protect women first, and let's say, hey, how about somebody who didn't have 18 years of testosterone running through their body, with these big broad shoulders, and you look, even if you cut the dick off, I'm sorry, you're not getting rid of the bones that they have. You're not getting rid of you. If you actually look into it, the strength difference between a man and a woman is phenomenal. Even when you cut off the testosterone in the moment. You know what I mean? Like if you start doing estrogen therapy or whatever, you still grew into a male's body, and you still have a huge advantage over women in physical sports.
I'm weak right now in my perception of myself, right? So I have my perception of myself. I think I'm weak.
And you
I
compare
deadlifted
yourself to women, man.
500 pounds 2 weeks ago. 500 pounds. All right. If you look at me from college, good God Almighty, I was deadlifting 700 pounds. There's not a woman on the planet that if you were to put me in the same age, well, there's probably, there might be. I'm not saying that, there's not a woman that can do that.
We're
I'm
speaking
saying
on
that
most.
at my aggressiveness, the way I'm built, there is not a woman that could have competed with me at that time in my college, much less me now as a washed up athlete. Would sit there deadlifting 500 pounds, sitting there saying that's weak.
Yeah.
It's not weak. It's ridiculousness. I'm not.
It's just not logical.
Yeah,
It's
we got to go back to the beginning. Why did we separate men and women in sports in the first place? It's not because of any like sexual reason.
It was for their safety.
It was literally yeah.
Like,
We did it for the women, I think.
Yeah.
I think it was for them.
I mean, we know they're strong, bro. They bear children. Like, that's probably the most painful thing you could do is hold a baby for 9 months, go through all that trauma, and then deliver that thing out of your body. Come on, bro. We know you're strong people, but we're not about to put you in a physical battle with a man who has testosterone.
Yeah, we
Like,
we are
not-
literally built different.
Perspective. So the soccer player for Vanderbilt, right?
Yeah.
She kicked for Vanderbilt. She actually scored a field goal on University of Tennessee, my home. Don't get me wrong. I was pissed off about it. I was pissed that Tennessee allowed that to happen. I'm not pissed that she scored the goal. I'm pissed that they allowed that sort of situation to come about.
Because it's really just symbolism.
Because we know what they're doing.
It's just a symbol. It's not really adding anything. It's
called
not
virtue signaling.
Yeah.
It wasn't that she had the ability to do it. I know that they had some kids sick out with COVID, whatever. But at the end of the day, if she were to go and try and tackle the guys that she was punting or off towards, good God Almighty, she would be dead. Straight up. Care what anyone says, she would have gotten fucked up. That's how it is. The monsters that play college football, you can't put them in the same realm as her. Even the backups, you can't. I would be a backup, and I know 100% if she was in my way, and I'm a backup who's supposed to do his job, right? My job is to tackle someone or block someone, right? At the end of the day, I'm doing my job to get that person out of the way so that my teammate can score or whatever the case may be.
So, like, with all this, are they asking us to kind of, I guess, be less masculine and kind of allow them to have a fair shot? Like, is that what they're trying to get at? Like, trying to dilute men? Like, I don't know.
I think that's part of it. I think that's more of a feminism thing. I wouldn't know. You'd have to ask the
I'm
feminist.
just trying to think like a little deeper. Like, why would you want something like that if you're president? Like, do you want men to be less strong so you can control them more?
Well, I mean, just say you onto it right there.
Yeah.
You figuring it out right
All
as we're
it's
talking.
doing is creating a negative energy between feminism and masculinity, right? So how are we supposed to be men with them being women, right? There's no logical agreement between the two.
Yeah.
No, I don't know what to say. Like,
It's like the same thing, like how like these players, they tell them not to hit people too hard, but then like you're in the middle of war, like you're in the middle of a football game.
You can't stop.
You see a guy coming towards you, you're gonna hit him as hard as you can. You're not thinking about that in the moment.
I tell you a story. Back in my day, when I was in middle school, I've been asked to be kicked out of a football game, and I was 12 years old. You know me, I'm not a bad kid, but back in the day, I had some anger problems, right? So what I would do is when I run into kids that I felt that were under that that man feeling, right? I thought they were too soft. I would hit them harder than ever, and it was terrible. I mean, what I did was wrong. I'll admit that now, but these two kids, they
Oh
were bigger.
no.
They were bigger than me. When I say they're bigger than me, I'm like 5'2". I can't even tell you how much I weighed, but all I know is I could hit the hell out of someone. That's all I knew. My dad taught me how to hit the shit out of someone. I knew how to do that. I was good as hell at it. So these poor kids, it was at Northeast. I can't even remember the town it was in, but we play in these schools, and well, we beat the shit out of them. But I ran into this one kid, and I hit him so hard in the stomach, he threw up right in the middle of the field. And they asked me to.
Nice.
Bro, what the
They
Congratulations,
were
great
yelling at the
job.
refs, like, kick the kid out of the game, like he's done.
what?
Wonderful. Yeah, that's
Oh,
what you do.
man. I mean, I had what happened? So we took the ball. I think we intercepted the ball. So the play before, I actually intercepted the ball, right? And I took it into the end zone. There was holding on the play. Defensive comes back. We don't get the ball. They get the ball. But in that time period, it ends up happening that they get the ball. We intercept it again. We take it back. I'm sitting there. I've already clocked one of their players, right? Okay. So two of their guys are just sitting there at the line of scrimmage, and I'm pissed off. I have the anger mentality just sitting in me. And I just charge as hard as I can, head first into one of these kids' guts. Clear them.
Wait, during the play?
Well, we had just almost just scored, right? We're almost in the end zone. The play's over. Like,
It was an illegal hit.
It wasn't illegal. It was technically legal, but
the refs never blew the whistle.
right, yeah.
All
You
right,
played
then-
to the whistle blow.
then you did
It wasn't. It
nothing
wasn't
wrong.
illegal. But like in sports, you're like, all right, the play is over. You know,
Play was over. But my
The rules are the rules.
rules are rules. I was
You was within the rules. I don't know.
I
Remember?
mean, he was within the rules, but then at the same time, it's like sometimes both teams know when the play is over, and he knows that too.
we all
why he's
knew the play
talking
was
about it.
over, but I just sat there. I saw the two kids. I was just like, I'm gonna hit one of them.
Right. I mean, you weren't wrong. You weren't wrong at all. Nah, you weren't wrong.
One of my coaches was like, fuck
You was trying to fuck. You had bad intentions.
this. Like, oh my God, what did he just do?
Right.
Like, that's just how it was.
It get like that though.
I'm from the South, we were taught from a young age, like, be ruthless.
Fuck somebody
My
else.
dad,
Yeah.
my
Yeah,
dad taught me from a young age, like,
I'm in agreement. with you.
The more
You
brutal
hit
the hit,
and
the
you-
louder the crowd. That's what I
you
remember.
learn, you're on top, right? That's how it is.
That's how it should be. There shouldn't be nothing wrong with that. If they got caught slipping, they got caught slipping.
And if and to bring it back to the women thing, if there was a woman on the field, you would have not done that. Like as much as anger. I mean, I don't know. I didn't know you as a kid. But you might have. But it's safe to say most people would not put their
A lot of people were
110%.
like, yeah.
They would not.
To give you an example.
I'd be so scared to hit a girl, bro.
Back in the day, this team, the Bobcats, they were in Central, I think is what the school's called. I can't remember. But back in the day, so they had a girl on their team, right? So my dad even told me, he goes, look, if she wants to play football, you treat her as you would any other player.
Yes, sir.
Shit.
Yes, sir.
I mean, bro, go on the field.
Signed up for
I
it.
asked him previously, I go, do I hit her or not? And he was just like, she wants to play football, you treat her how to play football.
The game does not change for one person.
Exactly. That's exactly how I was taught. I'm not going to – I didn't want to change. I wanted approval essentially of, can I hit the shit out of this girl?
Exactly.
If she wants to play on the same field as me, can I beat her ass? Right? Flat out. That's how it was. And when it came down to it, I ended up having to go against her. I fucked her up.
Hey.
It wasn't my intention to hurt a girl, but if she wanted to play football, which she did, and she loved it. I ended up asking the girl, I go, "You love what you're doing, playing football?" She goes, "I fucking love this." I go, "Okay, I don't care." Great. I feel comfortable now that I just absolutely laid your ass out 5 or 6 different times in a game. That's how it was.
I should be doing that for mine too.
She wanted it, she got it. Like, that's you want to live a certain life, you live your life. I'm not opposed to that. I don't care what you believe in. I don't care what you do. But if you want to play a game with men,
if you step into my life, I'm gonna continue living mine.
Of a man,
Exactly.
and I gave her that respect.
Okay. I think everybody in this room agrees that. Well, in your room too, because here technically.
Yeah, dude. I would like
agree that if a woman wants to play a sport and she hops in that fucking fire, she gotta be ready to get burned.
I would like to talk to someone who disagrees with me on this.
I think everybody's in agreement with that.
I've heard some super liberals talk about it.
That's all it is. But nah, what else we got? We got Hank Aaron died.
Oh yeah, and Larry King.
And Larry King died. When did Larry King die? I know Hank
I
Aaron
think he died
like
today,
yesterday.
son.
I think Larry King died today.
Larry King.
Sheesh. I mean, bro, and it's so ironic because they both took the vaccine 2 weeks ago.
Dude, no way. Yeah, 23rd. It was today.
Healthcare perspective?
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No.
I don't know what to expect from a healthcare perspective. So here's the thing. And I love what I do. I love the company I work for. They're great people. They care about humans, right? So that's where I'm like, you know what? I actually do love what I do. At the end of the day, I actually give a shit about these people. They're good people. But me as an individual, I'm not going to change how I think, right? So unless shit is tested, which this wasn't tested, you can't prove that this was tested on human beings and say that this is a logical reason for us to say, take this test and this is what the problem is going to solve everything. No, it's not going to fucking solve everything. We're not stupid. Don't tell me it's some stupid ass reason why you believe this is actually going to be the result of COVID-19. That's not true.
Mm-hmm.
They're hoping this is the result of COVID-19 and that this is shit. It actually works. They don't know that. And I was the first person to say that. I told it to my mom, and she got the vaccine. She got it all, like the full 9. And I told her, I go, at the same time, I was like, Jane, I'm not going to take this shit until it's fully proven. Like, it just doesn't make sense. I'm your son. Like, understand why I'm not taking this. And she did. She got it. She gets it. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to just put something in my body that hasn't been fully proven works. It's just logic. That's not being ignorant. It's just logic.
And right now, we kind of proving that it don't fucking work because it's killing people. Like, literally killing people. They perfectly healthy people are dying.
Someone like, you bring up Hank Aaron. Hank Aaron was my idol growing up. Now, him and my dad, those are the 2 people. I have 2 people hanging up in my room in Knoxville, Tennessee, and they are it. Those 2 people. People want to call me, whatever they want. But Hank Aaron, man, that motherfucker, he used to hang his hands reverse on a baseball bat. So that's how we hold it. That's how he hold it at one point. That's fucked up. That's wrong. But he still could do it. That's what encouraged me.
That's just pure fucking gift, like from God, that you can hit a baseball.
He is literally the ultimate gift of baseball. And I love him for it. I could never be more proud to love a human being like him. He's not to mention he was an incredible baseball player, but he was an incredible human
Right. He's a
too.
good person. One of my
He was
friends
a good dude.
scholarship to college off of Hank Aaron, like just for having a fucking good GPA and playing baseball, he donated money to hella people, bro, in his foundation. Like even people who didn't play baseball, he donated money to them, bro. Like
Expand on that. I think it was just him being a human being though too. He was just a good dude.
right.
And that's what a lot of people miss. It's not what you do, it's how you take yourself and put it into reality, right? Like me, myself, I'm not the best human being in the world. We all know that. Elgin, you know that. But
I love you, bro, man.
I don't know that yet. You could be.
at the end of the day, like I'll never forget. So my mom's best friend ended up meeting him one day at some random restaurant. Asked for his autograph, got the autograph, and at the end of the conversation, he said, "I hope you have a great day. Thank you for introducing yourself to myself," kind of thing. That's what it was. And so for me as an individual who has always idolized Garen, I sit there, I look at him, and I put him on another pedestal, right? He's one of those humans that is just, he cares more than what you would average, like a normal, you hear all the time about people that are just like, hi, I'm Robert Downey Jr. Give me this. That's because I'm Robert Downey Jr.
Right.
That's not the case. That's not the case with him.
What can he give to you instead of what can he receive from you? What can he instill in you just from a smile or just some kind words? Like anything he can give. Like I don't know.
He was a good human, and he loved people, and that is hard to come about nowadays.
Even with people that are not famous.
Right. We got regular people being assholes now. So
We got regular people who think they famous and think they better than everybody.
Elgin, you lived in Connecticut. You know what it's like.
Real shit.
You got assholes everywhere up here. If you need
Crazy,
some, let me
yeah.
know. I'll send some down to you.
we got enough down here, bro. You gotta
Yeah.
come take a visit out here, actually, bro.
I want to.
You need to come down here. Come get it. It's lit, bro.
But yeah, we gotta idolize the people that could reach the top of the mountain and still remember what the bottom is like, and still know how to just keep 2 feet on the regular old ground, bro. Cause you're not above any of that. Like it's just silly. It's just silly how, and I hope we leave the world of the media one day where, it's like, oh, if you get a spot on, and I don't even want to. I didn't even mean to bring up Larry King, but Larry King was somebody who, if you got an interview with Larry King, that mean you was the shit. You was the top of the top, and like there's certain accolades, like a Grammy or like certain things that happen in the media where like you make it to a certain point, you reach a certain milestone, and now you're the guy that did that, and everything that the person you were back at home is gone. He's gone. And I just don't understand. It's like you almost never had a real personality, and when the media gives you like this pedestal, you just you believe them when they say that you're the greatest and that you are above other people. It's crazy to me that people let that stuff get to them, because how do you not have like, how do you not remember, like, those are the most important parts of your life when you were nothing.
Right.
Technically nothing. I don't even want to say it like that, but I mean, yeah, like, how do you believe the lie that the media tells other people about you, that you're some great god and stuff like that? How do you believe it? You should be up there saying, no, I'm not that.
It's like some
I'm not
people
that.
do, but some people get so attached to that, and they feel so good when people say that, and like they feel like they actually earn that to be on that pedestal with God and these greater people. But you really didn't do shit. Honestly, I mean,
There's not much you could honestly like.
we all still people, bro.
Yeah.
We all still humans.
Jesus Christ didn't get a
was
podium.
so
He didn't get no awards.
That's the thing,
Jesus
bro.
Christ got, killed
You
for being
gotta
who
be
he
humble,
was.
man. If you're not humble, you're gonna lose it just as quick as you got it.
No,
Yeah,
you're 100% right.
cause cause
And
cause you're not that guy.
my family came from nothing, right? And so I get it. I'm right there with you. Like, we grew up in some small hick ass town from South Doyle, Tennessee, like nothing, absolutely nothing. And my grandmama, she came from money, like that's fine. But my great uncle, I think is yeah, he's a bastard, but nonetheless, he that some bitch, he literally gave away all the money of my family, right? So it was kind of fucked up from the get go. But my dad, my dad, the way he was, he didn't even give a shit. Like from the get go, when we grew up, I literally it's just my mom, my dad, and myself, and that's it. That's all it was. We came from nothing, and it's some small hick ass town, South Doyle, Tennessee. Like you don't sit there and look at South Doyle, Tennessee, and be like, oh yeah, no, they come from money. No,
Actually, never looked at it before. Never
South
even know what
Doyle,
that
I
fucking
ain't
was.
ass.
never even heard of that shit.
You ever heard of South Doyle, Tennessee? No,
Never.
nobody has. Nobody.
South Doyle.
Like,
Is there a
my,
North Doyle?
my mom is a beast. I'll give her that. My mom is a beast. She's grown from nothing to something over time. And that's what's persuaded me to be the person I am is because of her. So I've come from a little something to a lot of something just because of my mom. And I'm proud of that. Damn well proud of that. And I love my mom for that. But I know what you mean. Like individuals, especially, I think something that's very interrupted the whole election is individuals in the like LeBron James, anyone that has high influential like reflection on people. They create a perception, right? That doesn't necessarily mean that it works for them, but it works for the individual that's voting for someone, right?
Exactly.
He creates that perception for someone that it doesn't understand what's going on. That is my problem. So I know I watched LeBron James actually grow up when he was in high school. I watched him play at one of our opposing high schools. So I know the kid's a beast. All right. I have all the respect for the man. All right. But at the end of the day, you as a man should not reflect how someone else should vote by saying X, X, and Y.
Bruh,
And
I definitely agree with that.
bullshit.
Because for anybody to say that one person is behind everything that's going on in our community and try to steer all our votes one way, somebody as influential as LeBron James to try to get all the votes on one side, I don't think that's right. Because there's some dumbass people who are just looking for somebody to just tell them how to think.
Yeah.
We all have different reasons to vote different ways. Like, it's no one fucking way.
And I don't ever really know if your endorsement is genuine. I don't know if somebody paid you to say that or what. I mean, like I don't like if you're an influential person, you should be preaching about like go and learn. Don't take it from me. Go and research
Go
it for
look into the
yourself.
policies. Go look into who's the better option.
Maybe if you want, you could throw your own opinion on there, but don't say go vote for him because let's for example, LeBron James fans and sports fans, they not the most into politics type of people. Like and even like gamers, for example, you take a lot of different entertainment. Honestly, anybody in entertainment, like your demographic is not like a political critical thinking group of people most of the
It's
time.
mainly people who just want to have fun or look at something to get their mind off of that. A lot of people go to that for an escape.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I was just like,
Great. I mean, I don't know how to a word to use it, but you're taking your escape to create your future, right? You know.
And then that's how they manipulate people. They steer this fucking. They create this shit in the media. Then they get your leaders involved, and they try to get you to tell your community to do this, and they try to get a big group of people to do one thing instead of letting them all think for themselves and see what's in the benefit of them actually behind the scenes, away from the media, and away from what people are fucking putting in their brain.
It's all corporatized. It's just like if you see a Coke commercial, the Coca-Cola commercial is not gonna say, do your own research and try to figure out if you should like Coke more than other products. No, they say drink,
Coke is the best.
drink Coke.
Look how fucking nasty fucking Pepsi is.
Yeah.
They put all this bullshit in it.
Don't think about it. Don't think about it. Buy this product and do it
And that's how
today.
they get your fear fucking mechanism fucking riled up, and then now you fucking jumping and doing shit that you're not supposed to do.
Yeah.
The one
Gotta be
thing
more
that really
responsible.
upset me about this election more than most, and I'm not a political man, don't get me wrong. I'm not someone that sits there, reads every policy to the T, but what politics this year around was all emotional. That's all it was.
Yep.
It was nothing to do with policy. It had nothing to do with the people. It was strictly on the matter of, okay, can I make this person think my way based on the concept of I can piss him off? Yes, that's what I'm going to do. And that's exactly what Joe Biden did. And for someone, sorry, I had to throw my dip in. For someone like me, who is very, I think, very much to myself. I think exactly what I think, and that's it. Like, if someone wants to change my mind, give it your best shot. You know, pray to God that something happens. But that's just how it is, you know? Like, I'm not going to change the way I come from. A family of, my dad owned a restaurant for 40 years in Knoxville, Tennessee. That's it. You know, for me, I'm done right there. You don't have to change anything in my mind. For me, I know that I want to think conservative because from a small family restaurant,
Yeah.
had nothing for 40 years. I want to support, control anything I can do to help that restaurant, even now. So I don't own the restaurant anymore. We sold the restaurant. But I still want to mentally think and support and control that restaurant as much as I can.
Exactly.
Because I want them to be successful.
And nobody should be trying to put a label on you because of the way that you feel about that.
Yeah.
Because
It doesn't
everybody has
matter
their
if I
own
own it
reason
or
for
not.
it.
It matters that it still survives.
Right.
That's what matters to me. Because my family started that shit. So at the end of the day, when I'm sitting there and I see this restaurant successfully going forward, that's all that matters to me. Is I see them going. And then
Bro,
I
the
see
shit
Dad
that you saying right now, bro.
I wish that's what people would understand, that it's really not shit that's separating us. The reason why you feel the way you feel is because of your family and where you come from and what's attached to your family line. And if people can understand that it's not about black and white, it's not about this or that or this policy and that policy. It's about what you value in your life, and that's your family and y'all family business. Like, so if we can kind of put that more out there and get away from these fucking stories that's pitting us against each other, we can support each other and we can grow together, bro.
Yeah, you know what I think? I think that is, that's the funny thing about what the internet has done to us. And, I would say the internet as well as the people who exploit the internet. Like, take Twitter, for example. Twitter is a cesspool of people from all across the country and all across the world. Completely different people all engaging in the same thread of a conversation. So, of course, you're going to think way differently than me. You don't come from the same background as me. You don't agree with a damn thing I agree with. So how about I vote, you vote, and then may the largest vote win, okay? And that's the best way that we've come across in Western society to create a government formed by the people. If you can think of something better, go ahead. But that's the best way we could think of right now. Now, the what we're not supposed to be doing is engaging in this cesspool and trying our best to change
everything,
alter
yeah.
everyone's vote so that
Everybody
because
thinks the same.
because some
No,
of these
that's not
yeah
right.
right some of these people who are arguing on Twitter are not going to be content until 100% of the voter base votes the same way. They're not going to be like if there's
Why would there be a need for a vote if we all thought the same way?
exactly. And then what happens? What happens when that 2% of people vote differently? Then the other 98% go after those people and pressure them to vote.
Exactly.
Because that's why, like, you know what I mean? Like, just let people. If you want to talk about it, go ahead and talk about it, and that's all fine. But don't try to don't try to
Don't
call
manipulate.
somebody.
Yeah, don't manipulate it.
Because
Did
for the
you
most
see
part,
that one of the, it wasn't an executive order, obviously, but CNN, Biden, they were sitting there just saying like, oh, we need to deprogram anyone that was a Trump supporter.
right.
They trying to label this group of people who voted for Trump as Trump supporters, like segregate them away from the whole rest of the world as if they're like some evil group of people that we need to get from being. I mean, I'm not gonna say that there aren't some people who, in whatever Trump said they would do, or they weren't some bad people who were Trump supporters. I'm not gonna say that because there definitely was, but I'm not gonna say every single Trump supporter was a bad person and they all need to be deprogrammed.
And the shoe fits on the other way as well.
It's both sides.
Because there's a lot of conservatives who actually like just will go so hard on like they find out that you vote Democrat and you must be one of those libtards. You must be one of those idiots who want socialism and want the new world order and all of this shit.
You can't say every person who voted for Joe Biden is Antifa. You can't be like they fucking need to be fucking quarantined.
You can't treat every Trump supporter.
Them to stop being so radical.
Dude,
like,
because at the end of the day, like he said, I'm probably just voting for Trump because I want my small business to thrive. That's it. Like, what if that's all you want? Then let that happen. And people that vote for Joe Biden, maybe they just voted for that because they want to see black people do better, or they want to see like misrepresented people be represented better, and they put their faith.
And you know he's about to sign the executive order to get immigration.
And, yeah, they want to. Like, it's usually like little dumb shit that people.
It has nothing to do with you want to take over the world and kill every race but yours. Like no, like.
Yeah, that's really what it is, man.
Want your fucking ideas to be listened to. You on mute?
We can't hear you, bro.
He said I'm muted.
So, one thing I wanted to bring up that was actually like a big thing for me. So, Ice Cube, right? Like,
yeah.
He says it how he sees it. And I've always loved him for that. He says it how he sees it. I know he's probably not a conservative from a general standpoint, but this year he was.
Right.
So, from a human being like myself, I find this interesting. As far as executive orders go, for someone that really pushed for the African American vote this year, right? Biden, specifically, he did not do anything to help inner cities in his initial executive order.
And I have a problem with that.
I'm sitting there, I was like, you are the most condescending motherfucker that I've ever met. Him, Kamala Harris. One, I want to point out, Kamala Harris has literally been one of the shittiest humans on the planet. All right? Yep. He's literally put more people, has incarcerated more human beings and kept them incarcerated longer than any senator known to man. Yep. All right?
That's a cop.
Just for free labor, which is bullshit. How are you going to sit there and say you support your own color, yet you've kept them incarcerated longer just for free labor for your own state?
And then Joe Biden was the one who signed the crime bill in 1990 that locked up half of the fucking black community. And we went out there and voted for him because we were scared of Donald Trump.
And also,
bro, I ain't gonna lie, Donald Trump did some of the best shit that we could do for black people. He's also a fucking dumbass asshole and can't fucking talk and fucking sounds like a fucking racist at times. But at the end of the day, his policies did help us like get a little further. You feel me? Like as far as the capitalism wise, helping us get our own fucking businesses, our own money and shit like that. But then, bro, at the same time, I don't trust neither one of them motherfuckers. That's why I'm not voting for nobody until they fucking give me a reason to vote. Real shit. I'm not about to let nobody tell me who to vote for, and that's just facts, bro.
That makes sense. Yo, I'm right there with you. Like Trump, he absolutely he spits words. He really does. And he's good at it. And I understand why.
He doesn't have the political
All
media
about money,
training.
right? You spit words to make money. If I was in his shoes, I'd do the same fucking thing. Yeah. I'm trying to make a living at the same time as trying to be a president, right? But at the end of the day, you're not wrong, Allison. We all
Hey, bro, I'd rather know who my enemy is than fucking have to guess because the person who's saying that they're helping me and saying they're doing all this shit for me is not doing a damn thing, bro. In actuality, and they just giving me a bunch of fucking symbols. They fucking hiring black people as leaders in their cabinet that have no fucking authority to do shit. Then he's saying they're gonna do shit in the first 30 days, and I look down the executive order list and I see shit for immigrants, for fucking LGBT, but I don't see a damn thing for black people. So what the fuck do you deserve my vote for?
The immigrant thing, don't get me started. I think it's so wrong. All right.
You want to know how funny the media is?
This immigrant thing because a lot of immigrants voted for Biden, right? So you do that strictly so that you can cover your ass in the back end.
Yep.
All right. Makes sense. If you're a smart man,
why are you worried about immigrants if they couldn't vote? Was there some fraud with the immigrants? Did you work with the immigrants to get more votes?
I'm gonna be honest. Biden is not the most favorable human being on the planet to be voted for. So I do not believe that this election was voted for legally. I don't. I think there was some illegal fraud involved, in my opinion.
There's always fraud in every election.
I don't believe that he beat Barack Obama in the African American vote. I don't. I just don't. There's no way. I'm sorry. No moron in history can truly believe and prove to me that he beat him in the African American vote. There's just no way.
That's crazy if that really happened.
Biden got 17% of America's
I do believe that Trump did actually get the most African American votes of any white president of the world. And that's because he's the first president that actually went in, talked to African Americans and said, hey, what do you want? What do you need? What is necessary to be successful?
Just because he doesn't go about it in a political way, he gets fucking scrutiny for it. You feel me? And I don't know.
He's a businessman. At the end of the day, he's a businessman. So when it comes down to it, he's not going to sit there and bullshit with you. He wants to get the job done.
Right.
I don't think it doesn't matter if he likes him or not. At the end of the day, it matters if he does the job or not. It's not the person he is, but the person he's trying to become.
Yep.
All right. So for me as an individual, do I like him as a human? Do I think he's a good human being? No. He's a shithead. I know Trump's a dickhead. At the end of the day, I'm not a moron. It is what it is. But I do know that at the end of the day, he actually did give a shit about human beings and made sure that they were successful. Because at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, you, myself, all of us, if we're not successful, he's not successful. That's what it comes down to. So for someone like us, right? So if we're not successful in the stock market, he's not. That's what matters to him. And so at the same time, I'm going to sit there and be like, you know what, mentally, all right. So if we suck right now in the stock market and we're not doing well, and the rest of the people aren't doing well, no one's doing well. So me and myself, I'm not doing well too. So how do I change that? We all have to be a part of it. That's the thing. We all have to be a part of it.
Yeah.
It's not just one person. It's
you're not gonna solve you're not gonna solve it with a vote. Little funny thing though, the media is so funny, man. I just wanted to point this out. In 2016, did you know Kamala Harris was California's first Indian American U.S. senator, And then in 2020, she was America's first female black vice president.
That's crazy.
In 4 years, she changed her race, man. And I just think I hate
It's
the,
all based on what's going
I
on
hate
and what's
the,
popping at the moment.
I hate the whole like, hey, you know, let's, just let's just say that this is, I don't know what she really is, but you can tell that they just change the narrative based on what fits, man, and what gets people excited, man. And that's what people wanted this year. They wanted a black vice president, and I guess if she fits the bill, if she can, kind of fit in, then she'll get it because, they'll call her that anyway. I don't know what she is.
I think she's probably all of it. She's probably an
She's probably
Indian.
half.
Yeah,
she's
she
probably
all
half
that shit.
Indian, half black. It could be that.
We all fucking Indian. Fuck.
Hell yeah.
If Americans here before we got here, shit.
From somewhere. It's not like we just came from thin air. Like
We all got some fucking Native
my
Americans.
ass, bitch. We came from somewhere. So,
Yeah.
someone like her, she probably came from an Indian tribe. She probably came from, an African American tribe out in fucking Africa. Who gives a shit? But bitch, if you're gonna identify as something, identify as the same goddamn thing.
Right.
Be the same person you chose to be.
But people not going to do that. They only going to identify certain things when it benefits them.
And it gets to the point where you have Elizabeth Warren telling people that she's Native American, and then they did a DNA test on it. Y'all know what I'm talking about? That's why Trump calls her Pocahontas because she's like
wants to be
zero
Native
point.
American
She's like
so
zero
bad.
point zero
That's
four
probably the same
percent.
thing for all of us. We all have some.
You
percentage
probably
of
have more
American.
Native American in you than Elizabeth Warren. She had 0.04, bro. That's so small.
I'm an Italian Norwegian. If you had to put two together, there you go. An Italian or Norwegian. That's it. Those are the two main ones, right? After that, English, Irish, you name it. That's what it is. We're mutts. We're all mutts. That's what it is.
Yeah.
America is. We are the place of opportunity, right? We come from opportunity. That's what our entire country is built on, opportunity.
Yeah, not a religion or a race.
To take that away from someone is, disgraceful. But two, if you are going to claim you are one thing but not the other is bullshit. So, someone like Kamala Harris, who says that she's an Indian one year and says she's black another year, can kiss my fucking ass. All right? That's just how it is. All right, you are one, and you
Stop playing with these people, man.
own that shit.
Right, and then she want to go to the fucking inauguration wearing all purple with fucking Converse on, trying to say like, yeah, I'm so hip and I eat chicken wings with hot sauce and taking fucking pictures eating chicken wings. and
Hillary
shit.
Clinton did that too. She
like,
went on a
bro,
Breakfast
like,
Club and said that she kept
Is
hot
that what
sauce
you
in her
think of
purse.
us? You think we just walk around wearing Converse eating chicken wings and hot sauce? Like
That's the
that's
most,
what it take to get my vote.
bro. That's what Hillary Clinton did. She went on Breakfast Club and said she keeps hot sauce in her purse. We know what she's doing. She don't do that.
Then you're out. You're out.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, look, the other day,
And then Kamala Harris smoked weed with listening to Snoop Dogg before Snoop Dogg ever got famous. Yeah, apparently. She went on a Breakfast Club and said that she used to listen to Tupac and Snoop Dogg in the 80s. Them boys did not make a record until the 90s. Get out of here. And so that's been a whole like running joke between all the conservatives have been laughing at that since she said it like about a year ago.
She'll
But
say anything, bro.
all of these politicians, that's what they do.
I can never trust a woman that. And I actually told my mom this. Mom, there are a lot of people I hate. I've never hated a bitch as much as I hated Kamala Harris.
Her husband's white. She likes fucking white guys.
That's what's his name?
So I've said this. I told Dave this before. So AOC, yeah, that dumb,
Alexandria.
she's dumber than a fucking rock. I mean, dumb as a fucking rock. But
She makes the Democrat Party look way worse than they should look.
she,
AOC is the most radical leftist girl.
At the end of the day, just MAGA as I finish. But this is how I am, as a human being. I've never hated someone more than Kamala and AOC. They're just terrible humans. They don't get it. They have a very set standard procedure that is not what, you know, we think, right? We're just normal humans just trying to live out here, just trying to be normal guys.
Yeah.
But they want to make it so that we're the shittiest humans on the planet, and that if we think the way that we think, then we should go to hell. That's kind of how they think. That's how they think, actually. I'm not going to shit,
Yeah.
so that's how they think.
Yeah, I don't know. Their little deprogramming stuff is kind of weird. Like it kind of just reminds
That's
you
how
of
you
like,
separate people more.
yeah, bro. And honestly, and they know it's not gonna end well, and I think that's what they want because the whole 2020, like they were able to politicize the violence in 2020 so much to their own benefit, and the billionaires made so much money this year off of it. That whole show that they ran for a year, they don't want it to end, and they know that if they push forward with this, Trump deprogramming shit, that people are gonna fight back, and it's gonna be more violence. It's gonna be more, hatred between people, and it's gonna be more
examples that they can make to say
it's gonna
why
be
they're crazy.
yeah, it's gonna be more politicizing, and it's gonna be more just because when everybody gets along, there is no political, at least in the way that these people think. When everybody's getting along, there is no need for politics. These political leaders don't have anything to run on when there's nobody to hate. And in the 2000s, it was Iran, it was Iraq. We hated them, they hated us, and that's how they used 9/11 and the Patriot Act to take away our rights. And that ended up being the whole NSA, fucking Edward Snowden had leaked all those documents on the Patriot Act and how they used that political agenda to get into our phones and our computers without asking. Um, and they're gonna do it decade after decade, man. They're gonna create a situation. They're gonna make at least half of the country hate something, and then use that group of people to go vote for this person or go this way and do this, and benefit the party who's pushing for the solution. They create the problem and then offer the solution. They do it every single time.
It's incredible how manipulative politics are.
And you can't blame the people. Like you can kind of tell people the truth and try to get them to calm down. But when you're sitting here showing us videos of people dying, when you showing us like the most gruesome shit, when you putting aborted babies on Twitter, and we're watching those videos, when you go on the
27
TV,
million in 2020.
yeah,
27 million kids died from abortion.
the number is alarming. But they put these videos out of. I saw this horrible video of these doctors playing with them like dolls, the little aborted babies. And it's so sickening that how could you not vote against it? And that they use those videos. Same thing like George Floyd, horrific video that they politicize. And 9/11, horrific video, they politicize it. They put these things to trigger you, to get and you can't help it. I mean, you're just a human. Like you're born like this. You're gonna feel that way. You're gonna look at those things and want to cry and want to do something about it in that moment. And then the only option that they give you to do about it is vote for us. And that's not true.
Well, can I enlighten you a little bit actually on George Floyd? So, George Floyd, I actually heard, was on drugs and was actually so before I know the whole thing's it's terrible. Any human death is bad. You don't want anyone to die at the end of the day. But the man also was on drugs. He purposely was, he couldn't breathe before the cop put his knee on his neck. And, I at the end of the day, I don't put it full on the man. I don't put it on the cop at all. I put it on George. I put it on him. It's all the above.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day.
Yeah, in the same way that I'll sit there.
Man, if you were a man, and we as human beings I would not sit there, be on drugs, and sit there and just yell at a cop, do this, blah blah blah. I wouldn't do that. You know, that's just me. You know, I'm not going to do the wrong thing and justify it as a right because I was on drugs. I did the wrong thing. He did the wrong thing. And I wish he hadn't. All right. It would have caused a lot less problems throughout all of this shit. The
But tell me
election would have
this.
been different.
Do you think if you were on drugs, and you were yelling at a cop, that cop would have kept his knee on your neck for 9 minutes?
Well, I hope he did.
Do you think you would? Yes or no?
That would have been the best thing for me.
Do you think so? Do you think you would do it?
I don't know. I've never been in that situation. I've never created that situation for myself.
It's just totally fabricated. What you think would happen?
I'm not going to put it from a black and white perspective. I'm going to put it from a perspective of myself, which is I never would put myself in that situation. Which is, Elgin, you know me. I put myself to the high standard. I'm not going to allow myself to be put in that situation. To where a human can put his.
This is just total honesty. I'm not being judgmental at all. I totally understand what you're saying, but at the same time, do you think he would have did the same thing if he was white?
Again, I don't know. I can't truly answer that question because I would never put myself in that situation.
The guess would be no. But you know, the point that I want to make with that whole situation is what we should do is look at that video. And if that video is going to be a political movement, it's going to be, hey, stop doing drugs. Stop being belligerent. Also, if you're a cop, don't brutalize people. All of these lessons should be tied into that video all at the same time. It should not be one or the other. It's not either George Floyd's fault or the cop's fault. Right. It's both at a fault. They both were doing something that they shouldn't have been doing and ended up in a situation that is horrific.
Right.
What I'm going to put into that, and you're 100% right, is it wasn't just a white cop there.
Right. Several cops, yeah.
You know, and to judge one man on his basis is easy, right? It's easy to do it. Oh, white cop, there we go. He's the guy, put him through it. That's the motherfucker that put his knee on George Floyd's neck. Okay, there we go. He's our guy. No, that's not the case. What about the three other sons of bitches that were there?
Just standing there fucking watching.
Yeah, dude. Like, come on. You can't just grab someone and say, hey.
It makes sense. Don't get me wrong. If I'm someone that's trying to politicize someone, I'd totally pin this son of a bitch in a heartbeat. I'd be like, you're done. Like, I got your ass. You stupid motherfucker. You did this. You're done. But the other two or three sons of bitches that were there, they also did the same fucking thing. They sat there and watched it. So I can't justify one thing on one man when 2 to 3 other human beings were there and watched it and justifiably watched it happen. So at the end of the day, I don't fully blame the man that did it. I do wish it happened a different way. Yeah, because he said he knew, like the motherfucker was choking before it happened. Mm-hmm. Like George Floyd blatantly said before he was getting choked out that he couldn't breathe. So dumbass, don't put your fucking knee on his goddamn chest to make sure he couldn't breathe. Like that's also, just logic. That's my opinion, but I think a little bit differently than most people.
Derek Chauvin isn't. He isn't to be looked at like an evil person because he was white and because he was a cop, but he should be looked at in a different light because he has plenty of complaints. He had a very bad criminal cop record before that. So I'm to assume, and also I think he knew George Floyd. I think there was a story about that they had a past.
Like he knew they used to work together.
I think more than anything, this is a bad cop. who might have had something against George Floyd from the beginning. Because you got to understand,
He had like
these
other
policemen,
complaints on him and stuff.
yeah, these policemen know the guys in the area. They know who they don't like. You know, I had a stepdad who was a cop, and he would tell
What'd
me.
you say, Ryan?
I didn't know he actually did. He actually.
Yeah, you know. You know.
They had some history of working at a nightclub together. It was something like
They used to
that.
work security at the same
I
club.
think so, yeah.
Okay.
And that makes sense. Floyd was like 6'5" or something like that. He was probably
So
a
I-
bouncer or something.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
So that's the thing.
but we don't talk about that stuff.
Takes that away from
It was probably a personal issue more than anything else. He probably hated the guy's guts for a long time.
shit. I handle my personal issues like, damn, if you don't fuck with me and my family, you dead. Like that's how it is. That's how it is.
So like, I feel like, bro, if you're George Floyd's family and you knew that this guy knew your father before he choked him out, then there's no reason why you should feel like that he had any right to do that. He shouldn't have been the one detaining him if that's the case. If he had some
Yeah.
personal motives to hurt him.
There's a lot of cases you.
If he were to put Elton, if he put his knee on your neck, right, and you're my family, right? So at the end of the day, for me, my job as an individual is to take him out. This is how I think. It's how I process things.
Right.
So, motherfucker's dead.
Right.
That's how I work. It's not white or black with me. It's family. So people don't get that. And a lot of people don't understand me for that concept. Like someone asked me what I'd be like, what would happen if this man killed your mother? I'd be like, what do you mean if he killed my mother? I'd kill that motherfucker. He's dead. Like flat out. Black and white with me. You have one rule with me. You don't fuck with my family. That's how it is with me.
Right.
Don't fuck with my family.
And I
So
can, I
they
can
fuck
understand
with
that.
you, they're gone. You're done. It's flat out. Shit happens. You know? I don't care if I go to jail. I don't care if they catch me. I don't care if anything. They're done. So that's how I process
I can
things.
definitely understand that. Because the same way, if it's some random dude on the street and I see him getting arrested by the cops, I'm not about to stop my car and just go be like, bro, like, why are you arresting this man? I don't know him. Like, that has zero to do with me. But if there were people in the scene who knew George Floyd and they just sitting there recording the shit, but you can't go in there and try to stop the shit, even if you do get your ass beat by the police. I mean, bro, if somebody else is recording, they gonna show that video of you trying to save this man's life, and you're gonna be out of jail, bro. You're not gonna get charged. Y'all can't just sit there and allow this shit to happen.
They hooped and hollered about the cops
don't
that stood on the
protest
side.
about it if you ain't gonna do shit when the shit happen.
Damn right. That's the thing. People protest, but don't actually do shit about it.
Because
That's
they
the
feel
thing.
safe in their crowd.
That's what bugs me, I think, the most is that people will say, oh, no, let's protest everything, but they don't actually give a shit. They don't. And if anyone says they do, they're a fucking liar. Like, you have to care about someone before you can actually sit there and protest and believe in someone, right? That's the truth.
But at the same time, the only disagreement I have with y'all is that I believe that the cop was completely wrong for what he did, like 100% his fault.
No, I agree with that.
I mean, George Floyd was committing a crime, yeah, but he didn't deserve to die.
Yeah.
It was a little over the top.
Yeah, no. 8 minutes on somebody's neck makes no sense at all. You have to hate that person. I don't know why he hated him, but he hated him, and he did something wrong to him.
That
Killed
cop's
that man.
fucking dead. In my heart, if he fucked you up, I would have fucking buried his ass. Right?
Hey, look, if
That's how
you
I am.
if
That's
you
how I was
ODing,
raised. I care about my family. My family is everything to me. Right? After I lost my dad, I have nothing but family. So someone like you, Dave, Jules, anyone. There's nothing else in my heart. That's all I have.
Very
So
much.
if anyone's way of that, they're done. That's how it is. That's how I believe. That's what I think. I know it's probably wrong, and what most people would think is an improper way to approach life.
No,
That's
man.
how I believe.
Bro, that's how life was started, man. When we were first on this earth, on this land, it wasn't about fucking the whole group. It was about your village. How can you protect your village and your family? There wasn't a fucking global law. There wasn't no law of the land. It was just I have to eat tomorrow. I gotta go out and hunt. Get that for my family. If somebody fucks with my family on the way there, I have to kill them and I have to get back home. That's how this shit worked.
Oh, and it was like that. It was like that for hundreds of thousands of
Right.
years. So if you think that isn't instilled in our genetics, you're crazy. We are 17. We're about 200 years, 200 and some change years into this new America experiment thing that we started back in 1776. We don't carry all the same virtues that everybody carries. We come from a species of savages. We come from a species of hardworking hunter gatherers who just lived in villages and did what they had to do to survive. You have to understand that these instincts are a part of you. They're part of your biology, and it's gonna show its ugly head if you ruffle it. If you hit the hornet's nest, guess what happens? You can't talk to the hornets. You can't ask them to not come out. You fuck with the nest.
I'll tell you that.
What do you say?
Somebody. What'd you say?
I said I ain't the prettiest son bitch you'll ever see. I'll tell you that.
I don't think so.
What?
I think you're pretty cute.
Oh, shit.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
But nah, bro. I know you gotta get to your party, bro. So
No,
that shit, we done did the whole
I'm
podcast.
having fun right now. This is
Yeah. That shit was
I'm
good.
having
We're
fun.
gonna do it again. We're gonna get you on another one.
yeah. No, I'm definitely what you would call a different perspective.
Yeah, bro. I love talking about all this shit, bro. Like just opening your mind, hearing how everybody else think, bro. Ain't nothing wrong with that, bro. Ain't nothing wrong.
Now, Elgin, I appreciate you having me on tonight, man.
We appreciate you coming, bro.
You yourself, man. You know I love you to death.
I know that.
Bro. For me, like I said, I have brothers in this world. Anyone who's played baseball with me is a brother. So
Right.
Elgin's my brother.
Always, baby.
Anyone who has to change that, they gonna meet the wrath, you know. They gonna catch a redneck wrath. How you doing, man?
Anything else you want to say to close out, bro?
Hey, like I said, I appreciate you having me on here. You'll do a good thing. I love watching you guys. You're fun to watch. So keep doing what you're doing. Anyone watching, I hope you guys listen to these guys. They're my boys. They know what's going on. They're not oblivious to the world. So listen, have fun, love life, and enjoy it.
Yes, sir. And bang bus.
Hey,
All right, baby.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Ryan.
I
Have a
love you
good one,
guys.
bro.
Be good, all right?
Later.
All right, later.
It's gone. All right. I hope y'all enjoyed that, man. I wasn't expecting him to be on here for an hour, but shit. Why he don't live over here, bro? He got a lot of he talk about all the same shit as us, bro. We need more motherfuckers like that. But yeah, that was a great conversation we had with the dude, man. Very level-headed guy, very passionate about his family, I would say. He made sure to tell us over and over again that if you fuck with one of his, he gonna fuck with one of yours, and I agree with that too. That's awesome. I like his attitude. And let's plug his. Who is he affiliated with?
He's a healthcare, I believe it's called the Resource Group, I believe.
Okay.
I gotta look.
I'm gonna put something up on the video to plug whatever he got going on. I'm gonna
get his bio and all, and we can put it on.
Yeah, just hand me that. I'll put it right here on the video or down in the description or something like that. Y'all know where to look for it. All right, now we're gonna have to wait for that to do that.
So, yeah, that's good, bro. Anything else you want to talk about? I feel like we got pretty much good episode.
Yeah, I had some bullshit in case we ran into a wall, but I guess we don't need it now.
Yeah, bro,
we about an hour and 20 in. Yeah. Well, I hope we talked your head off enough, man. So we're not gonna hold y'all too much longer. Thank y'all for tuning in to Joe Central episode 24. This is Elgin. I'm Jacob. Remember to meditate. We got a video up. Go watch it.
Yep, go watch that
Elgin,
meditation video. If
Elgin
wanna
teaches
get
you how to
started
meditate.
meditating, go ahead and tap in on the YouTube page. Just go ahead and watch it. A little step-by-step guide, some apps you could use.
Get off the computer. Stop scrolling.
Get your mind right, man.
Hey, every once in a while, just look how fast you're scrolling on your phone. Are you even watching what the hell bro? Sometimes people watch me scroll through my phone, and I'm doing this. I'm going so fucking fast.
Right.
I'm like, what am I doing,
Like,
bro?
are you even digesting?
Yeah, literally, you gotta understand. You probably should be hitting the brakes, but you flooring it. So, just relax and have a great day. That's Joe Central. What do I always say at the end? Love y'all. Bye bye.
Yo, man. Bye bye.